Hello and welcome to the Little Yarra Steiner School. I'm John Stewart and I'm the principal of the school, and as you can see behind me, we're located in the beautiful, pristine Yarra Valley, about an hour's drive outside of Melbourne. Steiner Education is a rapidly growing international education system that's been around for about 100 years now, and there are now more than 1,000 Steiner schools in over 60 countries around the world. Possibly the simplest way of expressing the difference between Steiner education and conventional education systems is that the inflexibility of conventional education systems means often that a student needs to fit into a box of an existing system, whereas in Steiner education, because there's the focus on the individual student, we set up the box to fit the individual.
Is that it's a way of educating people that really looks at education as more than just here is some information that you need to put into your head, and more than just here is a pathway to a job. That what we're looking to do is to educate a human being.
The Steiner program really looks at exploring the different topics of science, with experience being the first thing. For example, one of the main lessons I teach is the transformation of plant substances, which is a Class 9 chemistry main lesson. So we look at crude oil and we distill crude oil, but then we also look at how crude oil is actually converted to all of its different useful products. But then we sort of extend upon that and we actually look at, well, what are some of the environmental impacts of using crude oil? And so we're actually encompassing a lot of the different aspects to do with not only the science behind crude oil, but its social and environmental impacts as well. So it really allows the students to, in a rich and meaningful way, explore a particular topic in a lot of detail.
The main lessons do actually go all the way through the high school. So we start the history of art in Class 9 and we work progressively right through the years until basically we've done the whole history of art from prehistoric times through the 21st century over the course of 9, 10 and 11. So even the 11s and 12s will do all the main lessons. In a Steiner school, I think there's a real appreciation and understanding for the fact that the act of making art is not just about making a pretty picture. It's actually a really, really valuable and important part of our lives in general. So we're trying to get people not to just read and regurgitate information, but it's something that allows you to look deeply and to think deeply and to express something. And art gives you an avenue and a medium to do that.
We are a school that runs from preschool right through to Class 12, and our high school, our class teachers work with the children in Class 7 and 8, which is a continuation of the primary school years. And then class guardians will take over as pastoral care for the children, and they'll have specialist teachers in the high school. The benefit of having class teachers right through to the end of Class 8 means that those teachers know those children very well. They've worked with them since they were in Class 1. They've seen them develop and grow, and they know their learning habits and their learning styles. They've developed strong relationships with these children and their parents, and we find that they meet with great success having that same class teacher right through to the end of Class 8. We have a very successful senior school program. We offer the VCE, and in Class 12, alongside your VCE, you can choose to do an independent project. The independent project allows the student to choose an area for which they wish to develop a skill, building up their knowledge and their understanding, and then presenting it.
They've looked into all sorts of different things that they've been fascinated by. They have created exhibitions, written books, renovated old tractors, started businesses, put on theatre productions, investigated performance anxiety and written a thesis. It's a very, very unique possibility for both being supported in a discovery journey, but also learning to self-direct.
Students in their VCE program can also choose to do the ATAR instead of that project, and we've had many students be very successful with receiving a high ATAR.
The feedback that we have from tertiary institutions and from employees when they come to tell us about their experience of working with the students who've come from this school is that these are young people who are very adept at finding their way, at articulating their opinions, at following their own passions and subject areas.
With the current global health crisis, we're finding a lot of inquiries coming from parents who are looking to move their families out into the countryside. And they're looking for a school to send their children to where there's a lot of open space and their child can access a healthy curriculum. One of the questions that prospective parents ask us the most is whether their child will transition easily from a mainstream education system into the Steiner system. And our answer is always that they do this remarkably well and remarkably easy. And this we've seen over many decades of watching students come out of the mainstream system into Steiner schools. Thank you for joining us, and I hope that you've gained a little bit more insight into Steiner education and what the Little Yarra Steiner School can offer your family and your child. If you'd like to find out a little bit more, please feel free to go to our website, or you can contact us directly through Facebook or social media.